Yes, we have, and we have found Thandi, and she is back up in the tree with apparently a steenbok kill. I can't really see too much of it, but there is no sign of Tlalamba. I think she's going to make me wait a little bit longer before revealing herself. The little bundle of joy was her old name. Now she's officially been named Tlalamba, the playful one. And Thandi is very relaxed. You might hear the sound of a vehicle. We have just been joined by one of the landowners from Buffelshoek. The typical leopard pose. Isn't that marvelous? So I'm going to put a little quiz out there to all of you wonderful viewers. You know I enjoy my trees, so I wonder who can tell me what tree Thandi is in. I wonder if you can tell me what tree she is in at the moment with her carcass. Hashtag Safari Live. And she's being shy. She's not showing her face at the moment. I'm super stoked. Seb is stoked as well. We haven't seen her. I can't remember the last time I saw her. I have seen her since I've been back from Kenya, but I haven't seen Tlalamba yet. Only on the screen, but that's not the same thing. I need to see her jumping around in the grass. And apparently Ralph said she kept bringing the carcass down the tree for Tlalamba to feed on. And then hyenas would come, and then she'd take it back up. And then she'd take it down, and then back up and down, because Tlalamba was finding it difficult to eat it while suspended in the tree. Raphael, no, it's not a tamarind tree. I don't think we get tamarind trees here. And it's not a leopard tree either, folks, if you're going to guess that. It's a very common tree. If you've been watching my drives, you'll know we have spoken about it on many occasions. There's the leaves. Lynn, you are correct, but I'm going to let a few more viewers get the answers in. Lynn is 100% correct with her answer. It's a tree that we find so many times with animals shading underneath. Alan, no, it is not a marula tree. Very fine leaves. Very, very, very fine leaves. Lots and lots of shade. We've had the young Tamba up it with his kudu kill. His kudu fetus kill, should I say. We've had Hosana many times underneath them and in them. We've had the Unkuhuma pride with the kudu kill underneath one. See those pods? Dale and Paul, it is not an acacia. It has no thorns, but it does look like an acacia. Lynn so far has got it correct. Isn't that just the most marvelous light? We just need Thandi to turn her face a little bit towards us so you can get some marvelous screen shots. Molly, it is indeed the toilet paper bush, the poor man's toilet paper, bear in mind, not the rich man's toilet paper. So Molly and Lynn, well done. The toilet paper tree, the African weeping wattle. And it's a very important tree out here for shade. It is browsed upon. The pods will give you a bad tummy if you eat them. And the shade element that it brings, I mean, just in the time I've been here since January, how many times have I seen not only a leopard in them with the kill, but shading underneath them as well as lions. So very, very important tree. Definitely given me a new outlook on these trees, and I'll never look at them the same. Whenever I see one, I'm always looking for the elusive spotted cat that's perched in the branches. Oscar, yes, Thandi knows me. I'm the newest member of the team, but I spent a lot of time with her in January, especially when Tlalamba was very young. It was about 3 months or so. We were very, very close to camp. We got to see her 2-3 minutes out of camp. She was there, and we got to see her almost every day. So very, very spoiled. I just got a whiff of the steenbok. The wind had just changed. It smells lovely. So Thandi is a very relaxed cat. Every now and again she can be quite moody, but I mean, that's just part of her personality. And we've had some wonderful sightings with her. And I'm hoping in the next little while, I'm sure she's going to make us earn it though. little Tlalamba will come out of the woodwork in proper form, because the way she's positioned with this afternoon light, if Tlalamba goes up that tree, it's going to be gorgeous. Aiden, 7 years old, she climbs up there. She's got very, very sharp claws. And she is a cat. She's just a very big one. And they are very, very good at climbing trees. And that's not even a difficult tree to climb. I've seen leopards go straight up, probably vertically about 20 feet, straight up before getting to the branch. And I've seen them do that with a fully grown female impala in their mouth. So pound for pound, the strongest cat. Very sharp claws designed for grabbing onto branches, pulling themselves up, and also designed for pulling down prey much bigger than themselves. Andreas, no, I don't say I ever feel at risk, but every now and again you do get this feeling in the tummy. Like one time we had Thandi, we were parked pretty much as we are. Thandi walked behind our car and hoisted a warthog up a tree. And then, because we don't have any doors in the car here, and then Tlalamba tried to follow her, and then we got between her and Thandi, and she tried to walk around the car, and I remember turning my head and looking at Thandi, and she was about a meter from my foot. She was looking at me with a very unhappy look on her face, but we hadn't done anything wrong. Her cub and her just kind of walked around our car and gotten a little bit separated. And then she looked at me as if I was to blame. But yes, indeed, it made my heart race a little bit. These are still wild cats. I mean, we assume that they're never going to jump on the car. And it is the behavior that they have exhibited for many, many years. But there's nothing really to stop them from doing so, apart from the fact they don't see us as food. So as long as we can maintain that discipline and that balance, we are perfectly safe on the car. Marcy, I am looking everywhere, but I can't see Tlalamba. I'm sure she's lying flat somewhere here. I mean, there's lots of grass everywhere, lots of bushes. One thing I do remember, we were in this area. It was actually with you, Seb, the last time I saw Tlalamba. We were just up the road here, and Thandi had a kill. She had a warthog and a duiker and a waterbuck. She was just up the road here, up a marula tree, and I mean, she was about 70 meters away from Tlalamba, who was 2 months younger than she is now, and she was just sort of on her own mission. And Mum would look and do that little call, and eventually she came back. But so I don't think she's too bothered by her. Leopards are very, very independent little animals, and she's probably messing around looking for some francolin or chasing ants or grasshoppers or something that young leopards do. But I wouldn't worry, but I'm sure she's here somewhere. Aaron, favorite tree species to see a leopard? Well, that's quite hard, Aaron, to see a leopard in a tree. It's all about like, for example, these trees, these African weeping wattles, are often very, very bushy, but the way she's positioned now makes it a perfect tree. But if she was on the other side, it would be a very bad tree. Marulas are often very, very good. Leadwoods are very, very good. And in my past time up in sort of the middle of Kruger, we saw a leopard in a dead leadwood, and that was probably the most spectacular thing. Not a leaf or small branch on the tree whatsoever, and a leopard just sort of lying there in this grey sort of crocodile skin bark with a very blue background. So I'd probably say a dead leadwood tree is my favourite to see them in. But just seeing a leopard in a tree, for me, is very special. It's a very popular and common sort of part of the Sabi Sands. If you want to see a leopard, this is the place to come. And you can almost pick the tree you want to find them in. I've seen them in so many different trees. Well, we are going to stay here in hopes of Tlalamba materializing, and Thandi may be getting up and showing us some activity. While we do that, let's go to someone who's walking vigorously in the bush, Ralph Kirsten. It would be marvellous if you could find aardvark in the day. I've never seen that before, Ralph. Good luck. Here you can see the claws that she uses to climb up the tree. They are what we call, in lions and leopards, we call protractile claws. Some people mistake them for retractable claws. They're not retractable. They're able to be extended, which means they protract out, and then they go back in as its normal position. So by extending their wrist, they actually extend the claws out, and then when they relax, they come back in again. So not retractable, protractile. And there you can see she's revealing one of them for us now. Sorry, Igloo, I only got the last bit of your question there. Ravinda, no, she's still got some up there. I can't see much of it. I wonder if you can see the leg behind her back leg. There we go. If you just punch in there you can still see the leg of the steenbok. Up. There we go. So there is still some up there, but we haven't seen too much of it. There's not too much. Apparently, Ralph, when left this morning, there was still quite like the hind quarters of the steenbok were still visible. And for her still to be up the tree, kind of defending it, means there's still enough meat to see her through another little while. Krufa, Thandi is about 12 years old, I believe, somewhere in that range. She's been around for a long time, and she has been the mother to many cubs. So she is we'd call the new queen of Djuma after Karula passed, who was her mother, I believe. Am I right, Seb?
Was her mum.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Shadow and Thandi. Shadow hasn't been seen in some time. They were sisters. And Shadow apparently hasn't been the best mom. I don't know how many of her cubs have survived, but Thandi's done very, very well. Very, very well over the years. But as Tristan has told me, Tristan is up in the Mara now, he said that Thandi's getting to the stage where she's going to stop breeding, and this might even be her last litter. So this last legacy of hers, Tlalamba, which is awesome because it is a young lady, and the young ladies are destined to stay within the area, and it means we'll be able to document and follow this youngster around as it comes of age and sort of moves into the space of her mother, the Queen of Djuma. Okay, well, we've got one of the big five that are not doing too much. Let's go over to someone who's got a big animal of the big five. Yes, well, Thandi got up and moved, and she's now hugging her little carcass. And for the sensitive viewers, you might not want to look at this now, but to look away if you need to. But here is the steenbok's face, which has been badly munched on by Thandi. Such an evil-looking look on it now. It is obviously very dead. But it's her prize. Poor little female steenbok has fallen victim to the claws of this very good and professional hunter. She is repositioned as having a nice sort of sit down in the tree. She's looking a little bit more comfortable than she was. Look at that. What a queen, eh? What a queen. Alexander, 5 years old. No, leopards, I don't believe, get more spots. They just grow into the spots more, and the spots get bigger and spread out. When we see Tlalamba, you'll see how many spots she's got. And those spots, just like the fur and the body, everything just expands and stretches. So they're very spotty at birth. And if anything, they get more golden in between the spots. They're quite dark when they're younger. I think it aids in camouflage and also keeping them a little bit warmer, because darker fur is more insulating than lighter fur. What has she spotted? Is she calling there? I wonder if she was looking to call. I think Tlalamba moved off sort of northeast from where we are now. She's not looking in that general direction, but it's a good chance that she circled around and is maybe coming back. She's definitely interested in something, but there was also hyenas this morning. Thandi might have spotted hyenas. She might have even spotted another animal to prey on, such as a duiker or another steenbok. Or an impala, who knows? But she's definitely showing some sort of interest there. And Pam-Jack leopards can hunt daily. They don't need to, but they can hunt twice in a day, 3 times a day. It all depends on the conditions, the animals that they are hunting. I've seen a leopard up a tree with a baby zebra and 2 warthogs, and we saw it catch that zebra in the morning, and then successfully, we didn't see it catch the warthogs, but they were there up in the tree with the zebra from the morning. So, and then they can also go days without hunting. So condition plays a big part, not just the condition of the leopard, but condition of the prey animals. As winter gets more and more dry and more harsh, your prey animals are weaker and much easier to catch. But then at the same time, the cover is blown a little bit for the leopards, and they have to work a little bit harder to hunt. Ooh, that was a beautiful yawn. So there's nothing to stop her from hunting with a kill. I mean, for example, I'm really surprised that she's still got meat here, because she's eating again now, because a steenbok is not a huge animal, and she's been with it for, 2 days or something. There we go, she's calling. So I think she was already full when she caught this. There, she's busy calling her cub. Let's listen. Sorry, you might hear a vehicle. They're getting a little bit stuck over there. It's very sandy. They just need to engage their low range. She's coming down the tree. Should I move forward, Seb? You want me to stay there? We'll stay right there. Okay, I'm just going to move. See how she disappears in the long grass there? Very difficult to spot the spots. So you're being very opportunistic hunters. They will hunt as many times as they need to. And if something just comes around while they're in a tree with a kill and a full, there's nothing to stop them going down and stalking and hunting again. Listen, she's calling. No, Lily, there's not too much left. There's still a little bit. She's not giving it up yet. She is calling her daughter to come and eat. Her daughter should not leave the table without finishing her meal. Here she comes, Seb.
Yeah.
Here she comes. Just in the long grass here. Between the bush. There we go. You got it? Yes. Tlalamba. Hello, my gorgeous. Now, I don't know how I spotted her there. I think I felt her looking at me. There she's running. She's going to do a loop around. She's going to come back to Mum. And Mum is going to give her a little cuddle and say, where you've been, you naughty girl. She's going to come through the vegetation there. Let's see if you can spot her coming, folks. This is going to be a bit of a show because she is extremely camouflaged. Thandi's in the same place. Tlalamba's directly in front of us now. There she is. There she is. Well done, Seb. She's coming all the way around. Mum is calling with the steenbok in her mouth. Sorry if my head gets in the way. I'm so excited. Thandi's in the same place. She's just here. Good girl, Thandi. Here she comes. There she is there. There she is. I'm just going to move forward because Shani's going to get her in the open here. She's going to come out, is she? Don't go in there, Thandi. That's very thick bush. Your little cub's about to sneak up behind you. There she comes, Seb. There she comes. Yes. Give me my meat, Mum. That's what she's just said. Giraffe girl, my heart is bursting with happiness as well. I'm so happy to see this cub alive. There was some doubt for some time and we weren't able to see her, but them being out here in this sort of area, it's very hard to find them out here. Look at this vegetation. They're right there. They're right there. And unless Seb zooms in, you can't see it. Now the cub is in the long grass feeding on that steenbok and you can't even see her. There she is. Sorry about my brakes. Hello, gorgeous mama. This is the best thing ever. She has grown so much. She's so cheeky. She's been off gallivanting and she's still little. She's still little. I was thinking after 2 months she would have grown more, but I mean, I want to see her in the open, but she's still very little. She's definitely becoming a little leopardess. She's going to get Aubrey, one of the game viewers. He's just coming in to join us. Orbs, you can just come around this side, eh? Okay, well, it looks like Ralph has found, and we're looking to make a promise to all of you. Let's go see what he's found. That's Steenbok. But now they are both. Well, Thandi's lying flat, and Tlalamba's in there somewhere. There she is. Busy feeding on the remains of the Steenbok. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's just this little sound as she's munching on the bone or the skin. Thandi was so accommodating, bringing it down for her, saying, "Come on, child, it's time to eat." Most parents will understand that. The kids are too busy having fun to remember to eat. Child of the universe, most cats have the protractile claws. Cheetah, their claws don't go back because they are not true cats. They stay out very much like a dog, same as hyena, and that is to give them grip, just like when we wear studs in our shoes for running, gives them grip for speed and running along the ground. Whereas cats like leopard, lion, house cats, wild cats, genets, they all have very sharp protractile claws, which enables them to climb trees and also potentially to catch their prey, which they then grab onto with both feet, front and back. And the leopard and the domestic cat have that very good ability to grab something with the front paws and then sort of eviscerate the stomach with their back feet, which is always quite fun. My cat used to do it to me all the time when it suddenly kind of lost its mind and suddenly attacked my hand and then clawed it all over the place. And that is purely a function of ability to help them climb. If they can't climb, and not easy for them to get away, a leopard needs to be able to take its food up the tree. We've seen cheetah lose their prey many times. Many times, because they don't take their prey up the tree. And leopards are able to then feed on their prey for days and days and days. Just have another vehicle coming in to join us. Texan from Vuyatela. The vegetation is very thick around here, and you have to be very careful because, as Ralph is talking about the aardvark burrows, There's lots and lots of aardvark burrows all around here, so repositioning might be quite tricky. But while we stay here and hope the little youngster comes out, let's go over to James and see what he's up to. Yes, we have, and she seems to have wrestled away the remainder of the steenbok carcass from Tlalamba, and there is no sign of the little devil anywhere. We are back on the scene. The other vehicles have since left, just in time to spot her before the night shrouds over, and I have no doubt this will be the final feeding she has on this little carcass. There's not too much there. She keeps turning up and sticking up her head and looking around. It's a vulnerable time for her. Hyenas are lurking. Well, they were this morning anyway, and this is the time they would come back again. But she is right at the base of a marula tree. She could spring up there in seconds. And that is why they choose to feed at the base of trees like that, if they don't hoist, so that they can escape if they need to. They're very alert. You can see her ears are always checking every sound in the background. Martha, how many leopards can live in an area, you would like to know? Well, it all depends on the food resource and the habitat availability. And, I mean, we have the potential to see 9 or 12 leopards in and around this area. So it's a marvelous number. There is an enormous number of small animal species in the form of scrub hares, steenbok, duiker, impala. So the food availability is really, really good. That's what enables us to have so many spotted cats in one place. But it all depends on the resources. And the fact is that the habituation of leopards have been going for so long that we know the leopards and find them all the time. So they're quite relaxed. So we get to at least account for how many leopards there are. There's other reserves I've been to that you don't know how many leopards are because they're not relaxed. So Benjamin, these leopards are related. The leopards in Southeast Asia are actually subspecies, and there's not too much different in them. I think there's maybe a small bit of weight in the Indian leopard, but I think comparatively they're pretty much the same thing. It's just separated by geographical time. But then, we've also got a species of leopard down in the Cape in South Africa that is exactly related to this, but genetically they are much smaller. And that's because their prey food is far smaller in size. They're about half the size of these guys. So they're very, very small, the Cape leopard, although they are the same species. But just through geographical separation and food availability and food size, they've evolved to be a much smaller cat. How beautiful is she? See, she's very alert. Very, very alert. Nice to see you, Thandi. It's been some time. She's even more alert because she's got a cub somewhere around here. So she'll be wondering what it's up to, first of all. But we've seen her climbing. She climbs the trees pretty well, so if anything did happen to spook her, she would immediately get up into the safety of the tree canopy. And interestingly enough, we don't see too many male leopards on this side of the property. I think Djuma occurs this side up into Buffelshoek. Not that I've ever seen him before, but also because the vegetation is so thick here, very hard to really figure out where the leopards are coming and going on our eastern boundary. Beautiful habitat for them. Okay, well, it seems like James has left his lions, but I believe he's still on Chitwa, so let's go see what he's up to. He has not done too much, apart from just munch away at her little steenbok that is left. Tlalamba has yet to reveal her pretty face once again, and the light is fading. The African night is upon us. Did you hear a call? She made a little call there. Last time she did that, Tlalamba arrived pretty soon on the scene. It's kind of getting to that time of night when you'd want your children nearby before all the scaries come out in the night. Thandi being one of the scaries, but doesn't want the cub too adventurous. Now, these little cats are very, very adventurous, and I don't know where she's gone. But I'm sure she's somewhere nearby, probably chasing francolins, or trying to. We haven't heard them. Here we go, let's listen. Let's see what she spotted. Ah, I can hear a duiker alarm calling. Might have been a steenbok. I don't actually know the difference between their alarm call. There was a little bleating sound. Did you hear that, Seb?
I did, sounded a bit like a sneeze.
Definitely got her ears pricked up. We're going to stay with her, see what happens here. You hear the tell Franklin in the background. What have you seen, Thandi? What is there in the darkness? She's calling again for her cub. Doesn't seem too concerned. Definitely sounded like something up there, hey, Seb? Seb almost thought it sounded like a sneeze.
I think I see it too.
Is she coming? Ah, there she comes.
Yeah.
Just above my head. She's about to come in. There she is. There she is. Hello, gorgeous. We are in infrared, folks. That's why it's looking quite green. Well, that's infrared now. Oh, she's stalking Mum. See how close you can get, little one, before she spots you. Don't want to get my head in the shot, Seb. I'm crouching right down here. Hello, Tlalamba. Come and say hello. Scratch on the neck. This is too precious. Too precious. Without the camera, all you can see is ears in the grass. It's a dark ear shape of a Garfield head, really. She can hear Mum munching. Let's see what she does. She's trying to be very stealthy. Look how she's delicately putting her paws down. This is all practice for the real thing. Mum knows she's coming though, but she's trying to be very stealthy. And Thandi just called again. Laura, it is too precious indeed. Thandi's calling. She wants you to come, but she's not a very obedient young cat. As I know a lot of the viewers have named her Rebel. I suppose when you're that small, that she's just so innocent. You don't know what dangers there are out there. Yeah, Thandi's moving past us now. Here comes little Tlalamba. It's a nice little full belly she's got there, Thandi, as she moves on. Here she comes. There she is. She's going to investigate what Mum has left behind. Hello, gorgeous. Kinkwad indeed, perfection in training, and she needs to learn everything from Mum, who's now just moving off having a toilet break. So I forget to ask the question earlier about do leopards get more spots. When you look at Tlalamba there, you can see she's got plenty of spots, but the spacing between is probably just a little bit tighter packed than Mum. There she is. Hello, Mum. No, Mum, no rest for parents, even when they want to go to the toilet. The youngsters are always very interested. She is too cute. Joy, I didn't notice any wound on Thandi's chest. She hasn't really shown herself to us too clearly, but there's no obvious sort of sign in her behavior. She was lying on her chest earlier. She seemed to be very comfortable lying there. Oh, look at that. The youngsters having a toilet break directly where Mum was. There we go. Not shy at all for the camera. Just a little mini version of Mum. Okay, well, it looks like James is watching the full moon rising. We're going to stay here. Let's go over to him with his Luna. Well, first of all, little Tlalamba followed her mum's direction and had a little toilet break exactly where she did. And we are now parked right next to it, which is marvellous, I must say. And then Mum started giving her proper grooming. Ooh, it's okay, Thandi. We haven't done anything. She hasn't looked at us like that at all. And suddenly she just looks at us like that in the darkness with her teeth. She's having herself a bit of a groom, and she was giving Tlalamba a bit of a lick down. And I think the youngster is over the grooming and wants to start moving now. She's definitely full of energy. Full of beans, you would say. And I've no doubt that they'll be on the move shortly, probably in search of some water. She's actually just behind this bush, Seb. You won't get her if you... She's just there in the darkness behind the bush. You won't get her. You know, she's just sitting there. And I'm not going to move any further forward without chasing Thandi. Caitlin, African wildcats most certainly bury their dung, like normal cats, but leopards do not, lions do not, serval do as well, but I've never seen a leopard do it. I've seen leopards cover their carcass before, or the stomach content of something they killed with sand, but not their dung. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. Why do domestic cats do it? I don't know why either. To be secretive, perhaps? No idea. Don't know what the purpose is. There she is. Hey, Mum, I want to be the star of the show. I wonder if she realizes how many people absolutely love her. She's got enormous ears, almost like her older brother, Tamba. I wonder if she's going to grow into those ears. He still hasn't grown into his ears. Salish, I don't think so. I think she raises the cubs exactly the same. It's all about feeding them, keeping them safe. There's no real sex to them for a long time. So the male obviously gets bigger than the female and requires a little bit more food later on, and maybe becomes a bit more competitive with Mum. Sorry about the front of my car. This is live, folks. These cats are doing what they need to do right in front of us. And I'm not going to start the car to chase away the little youngster. But I don't think there's any difference in how a parent will raise her cub. I think they just do what they do. I mean, for example, she's been in very similar areas, I believe, to previous litters. Am I right, Seb?
Yes.
Yeah, same areas, same sort of strategy. You know, feed, hoist, train them, keep them safe. She's very interested in me, hey, Seb? I think last night someone said she's got a pea heart, enormous ears. She's looking right at Seb. I think she's got a fetish for cameramen, because last night I heard Brent say that she was looking at Davy. Now she's looking at Sebastian. Also trying to figure out. They're very inquisitive, you know. she knows that we're not a threat because Mum's allowed us into the space and she hasn't reacted in any way. You'll see how she keeps looking back at Mum. Mum's relaxed, but this has been going on for months. That's how leopards are easily habituated when the adult is habituated, because they seem to learn very quickly. Well, Mum's not bothered, I'm not going to be too bothered, but they're still inquisitive. They still want to have a little sniff, have a little feel. All these weird, the plethora of smells coming off the vehicle. There's diesel, there's oil, brake fluid. Oh, there we go. I want some more licking, Mum. Not done with the grooming yet. Oh, that's too precious. Just too precious. David, you want to know if staying with him after dark puts him in danger? If the cub was on its own, certainly. But we are not using any lights. We will not be using any lights at all. And Thandi's here. The mother's here, so it's absolutely no problem. But, yeah, we're not going to be staying for very much longer. And if they move very far, we won't be staying. Well, we still actually got, over half an hour. It's so dark already. But if the cub was on her own, we would not be here at all. We would have left already. But we're not attracting any attention. We're not using any lights. Yeah, she's scratching here, Seb, I think. Can you hear her?
No, she's not.
She's here scratching somewhere. We can hear her. So you're definitely viewing cubs after dark is a big no-no. And putting a spotlight on a cub after dark is a very big no-no. Even putting spotlights on predators, really, it's kind of being moved away from. But is her scratching or is that bones? I think she's got more of the steenbok just over there. Can we just look over here if the cub is in front of me still, Seb? And then I'll move. Okay, there's no cub over here. See, I can't see that area, folks. It is dark, but it sounds like she's found the remainder of her steenbok. So let's just inch. Oopsie.
There's some hyenas at the back there.
Okay, the hyenas have just emerged into the scene here. And that would chase a cat straight up the tree. There's a hyena. That hyena is going to take the kill. There it is. And it'll be very silent about it. Won't tell anybody. See, that hyena came out of nowhere, but it would have known she was here this morning. But it has not caught any of the cats. It has only caught the remainder of whatever Thandi was munching on. I'm just going to move around the corner here. I heard them move off. The hyena just moved off. Yeah. I heard the hyena run. Hyena's in front of my car now, trying to figure out where these leopards have gone. Yes. Oh boy, no. This is part and parcel of what happens out here, folks. That's why it's probably good to just have the vehicle off and listen. I have no doubt that the leopards are safe. The hyena's moving around. It's moving to the last tree it was at, where the remains of the steenbok are. Very good chance that the cats bolted off or climbed a tree, but we haven't quite spotted them yet. We don't want to disturb the scene. Rather let them all be safe. Not much left for you there, young hyena lass. Apparently a lot of the viewers can identify these guys. I wouldn't know how to identify a hyena. Okay, well, I'm just going to go forward here. Okay, I don't know where they're gone. I heard, as Seb mentioned, the hyenas are coming in. The leopards bolted off, and I thought they bolted straight for this tree up ahead here, but we will see. Amazing. A vanishing act. Just like that, they disappeared. But I'm sure they are here somewhere. They might have even just walked away. And in moments, leopards vanish into the darkness. Okay, well, while we search for these beautiful cats, let's go back over to James with his moon. Yes, well, she just went straight up the tree she was originally in with the steenbok, but we're just listening out. She's called twice for the cub, and the cub has not materialized, but it probably slunk away and is hiding. The hyena's been too busy with the remains of that steenbok to have noticed the cub. So don't worry, folks. The cub's instinct is to hide away or climb up a tree. Sorry about that. She is listening. There we go, she's calling. Remember, folks, this is 100% live. We cannot predict what will happen next. Alicia, yeah, the cub and Mom were grooming, and the hyena came out of nowhere, and Mum just launched herself into the tree, and I don't know what... There's another hyena coming in here from the right. There's a hyena right underneath her there. Listen to her hissing at it. This is incredible, folks. I don't know if it's a different hyena or it's the same one. It's walking around sniffing. Yes, Thandi. This is incredible, folks. You can almost see the concern on her face, though. Very strong feeling the cub is perfectly fine. It's just being very quiet. It wouldn't come to her now if she called, obviously, because there are hyenas lurking around. So wherever it is, it's secreted away. And once the hyenas lose interest from the smell and the bones that they've eaten, they will move off in search of another scrap or meal somewhere else. Yeah, look, I don't see the hyena anymore. I think that little piece we saw there is about as action-riddled as it might be. It's the waiting game. Now just bear in mind, folks, that this happens probably every night to these cats. That's why they live in trees, spend a lot of their time in trees to be safe from the marauding hyenas. I mean, she's only half a meter or meter off the ground. She's actually, that's the ground just there, probably about a foot from below her foot. So she's not very well protected from the hyena, but she's very quick. You might have seen that clip on Saturday of Hosanna climbing that tree. Ridiculously fast up a tree. Okay, Kathy, I'm going to answer your question. I'm just going to move forward a meter so that you can get her face. just in a little bit of a hole. Kathy, you can't wrap your head around why a leopard is scared of a hyena. Well, a hyena has the most powerful bite for an animal of its size, and if a hyena happened to bite Thandi on her leg, or anywhere really, it might not kill her, but it would definitely cripple her ability to hunt and climb a tree, which is basically a death sentence. So any leopard, on encountering anything, hyena's calling in the background, on encountering anything like a hyena. Okay, well, we'll carry on with what I'm talking about in moments, but let's go to James, who's found his lions. Yes, we do. Looks like Tlalamba has made it back to the tree, and she's now giving Mummy some well-needed attention. Hey, Mom, smile for the camera. Take your screenshots now. So she just materialized again out of the darkness. She came into the tree, she gave Mum a little sniff, thought about going higher up into the tree, and then thought better of it, and thought, no, let's continue the grooming. Who doesn't like head scratches? Well, I do. Isn't that just too precious? Now what, Yes, Kathy, to get back onto that, if a leopard gets bitten by a hyena, it's over for them, really. So they'd rather avoid it. Hyenas are very tough, resilient characters, and but they've got such powerful bites. You know, a leopard attacking a hyena probably might not kill it, because hyenas are very tough. But one bite from the hyena and the leopard, the ability to climb is over. So that is the reason. It's an evolutionary adaptation to move away and then come back. I've seen leopards kill things, and then hyenas emerge on the scene, and the leopard leaves immediately. He assesses what's going on and then comes back. I've seen often male leopards come back and chase the hyena off the kill. But the reason they move is they don't have time to contemplate who it is that's running in from the darkness. It could be lions, it could be another leopard, it could be a clan of hyena. So essentially they have to move off, reassess the situation, then come back. But for a female leopard to take on hyena, it's just not worth the risk. So I hope that answers your question, Kathy. I think one-on-one in a fight, a hyena's got just such a powerful bite. Well, Clifford, we were sitting here. We could hear those Avoca males calling from Chitwa Dam. We could hear them, and she just lay there very nonchalant, very non-caring. So we were wondering, Seb and I were talking, what do you think they do? What do leopards do? And she did absolutely nothing. She just lay there. So I suppose the purpose of the calling at least lets you know where they are, and she'll know how far away they are, and it won't be concern to her. That's the animal you don't hear calling, that's the concern, because you don't know where they are. But when they advertise themselves, it's a very obvious sort of beacon for where they are. And other lions, we'll see it with the females. The Ukuhuma pride will be hearing them call, and they'll get up and move in the opposite direction. Hopefully that's not further south from where they were. Maybe they'll push them up here in to Djuma, who we'll probably see in the next few days. I've been sitting with prides of lions, and the males called in the north or the south, and the lions get up and they walk in the opposite direction. I've seen that many, many times. But a leopard doesn't have anything to really fear of the male lions, apart from if they do interact. The lions aren't looking to seek out the leopards for mating or for any purpose like that for territory. So the leopards will just avoid them as much as they can. They're no match for a lion, no match for a male lion at all. And it's in this exact area that one of the Birmingham boys actually climbed up a marula tree earlier this year and stole 2 of Thandi's kills that she left in the tree. That was oh, there we go. It looked like she was doing some scent marking there, Seth. Hey, she's trying to be mum. Her little wiry tail. That's probably in response to the fact that there were hyena right there. The youngsters kind of moved onto the spot where the hyena were, and it did a little bit of like a territorial scrape. No, Linda, don't go anywhere. We don't have too many minutes left of the show. And we're going to see if we can keep up with these two. I can't even see them. Seb's got them on the camera when I'm looking. Okay, should we move up there? Okay, we're going to move up so that we don't lose them in the darkness. Stay with us though, folks. There are some big termite mounds in and around here, so bear with us if we suddenly disappear down a hole. Okay, while we try and reposition for these two. Oh, there she is in the tree. Have you got her? Sorry. She climbed up a tree and now she's down. Thandi's just here on the left. There she is. Okay. There she is, just in the long grass. Licking her lips. What direction are you two going to go? Towards Quarry Pan, perhaps? For some light drinking? This is when it really gets fun, trying to follow them in this at night. Seb laughs under his breath. He knows how hard it is, but we will attempt the impossible. Okay, so we try to stay up with them here. Seems like James has managed to re-find some signal, so while we try and keep up with these two, let's go back over to him.